Today's Ace Monday Mastery is all about your brand as an employer, employee, individual contributor, entrepreneur. You have a personal, professional brand that you are known for. We're going to talk about it today. Welcome to Ace Monday Mastery.
Got a story to tell.
Let me break it down.
I hired in with bright eyes, but this team was disjointed. My project in full effect. This is my appointment. The point man, my moment to show and prove their choice was the best it could be. No matter who the other choice was. Fast forward, they all saw it. I blew it out the water. We got paid. Recall, this team had a disorder. Shade was on the border and moved from the epitome of team synergy. Now they talking about getting rid of me. What, are you kidding me? Maybe it's the kid in me. Mom's daily mystery, trying to configure what would dinner be. Now I'm a grown man. Take my homegrown stance. With steel in my back, I could steal out the back. Take a knapsack, some tax, a scanner, and the facts. But if security steal me, I'ma have to steal them back. Alternative facts, pain. I want them to hurt well. I'm an ace, and they rather low performing personnel.
Why Monday and why Mastery?
It ain't hard to tell.
By now, you know ACE stands for attitude, competence, and evidence. So when we come to our work week on Monday morning, you have to have a plan. You have to know where you want to end. I always say start with the end in mind. So that starts with the right attitude. But you also, in making that plan, have to be able to align the things you have to do with the amount of time that you have throughout the week. That's the competence part. And if you do that effectively, by the end of the week, you'll be able to have the evidence that you have aced your work week.
I could play a role and won't have to audition. Your position's a blip on the radar of my vision. This starts my decision. I wonder why I'm tripping. Is this a firing or firing up of my ignition?
But it all starts on Monday. And it all starts right here with you, a leader who is looking to ace their week with the attitude, showing the competence to make sure you have the evidence of success by the end of this work week. I'm Jaden Ferrer, Chief Strategist. Welcome to another Ace Monday Mastery. Today, we are talking about your brand. I'm going to break it all down, but before we do, remember, we start each Monday Mastery looking at the Proverbs of the day. So we're going to look at Proverbs 18, and the Proverbs that I've decided to look at that aligns with today's theme is Proverbs 18, verse 16. And it reads, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Understand that sometimes when the Bible says man, it's not necessarily saying man as in male, but mankind. So for the ladies out there, this applies to you as well. Let's look at another version. The ESV says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before the great. So why is this important? Again, the Proverbs, wisest man has ever lived, Solomon, wrote the Proverbs. Anything that has truth in business, any great principles comes from the book of Proverbs. So when you start your day and you look at the right attitude and mindset you want to have, looking at the Proverbs is a great way to get in sync with God's word and his truth to make sure that your business mind is ready to go for the week. But when we talk about gifts and gifts making room, I know there's a lot of people that are listening and are watching right now that you're not where you want to be. The majority of us are not where we want to be because we have a big vision. We have big goals for ourselves. And there's a lot of things that we do that may be hindering the forward progress that we have. So the reason why this is important to know, number one, like your progress is a direct result of how you view the work that you're doing and the appreciation for that you have for who you are and the abilities that you have. So if your gift makes room for you and brings you before the great, and you don't feel like you're yet in front of the great, there's a couple of things that you have to consider. One, do you know what your gift is? Or are you just trying to be in front of the great because you're trying to get paid, because you're looking for notoriety, because you're trying to get all these fans, all these followers? That's easy to fall into that trap. You look at social media and you see somebody that does what you do, and it's like, why come nobody's following me? Nobody's listening to me. Well, stop focusing on other people's gifts and following and what looks like fruit in their life. Start identifying your own gift. So it could be that you haven't identified your gift yet, or it could be that you've identified your gift and you haven't necessarily cultivated it to a level of competence that others notice it, and that is opening up doors for you and bringing you before great men or great women, great leaders, entrepreneurs, opportunities, investors. So it's important for you to kind of take assessment. Do I know my gift? Is my gift making room for me? If it's not, why not? Is there something I need to sharpen? What don't I know? And how can I lean into it? If you look at the Message version, I love the Message because it makes it real clear, real plain. A gift gets attention. It buys the attention of eminent people. So my gift buys the attention of eminent people. It's like saying, everybody knows about Facebook ads by now. You probably run some Facebook ads, or at least you've scrolled and you skipped some things. You jumped into some Facebook offers that were there. They're trying to sell you something, and you're buying, whether you pay for it or not. You're buying. When you click on it, they have bought your attention. And so if your gift stands out and what you do stands out from the rest, you're going to get the attention of eminent people, of people that have prominence, people that have the ability to make decisions, to make things happen. So if you focus on what God has given you and you cultivate that gift, others will notice it over the course of time. But the key is not to focus on the evidence, not to focus on the fruit, because you can't make fruit grow. All you can do is plant the seed, water it. God gives the increase. So the evidence will come. But that's where ACE is. Your mindset, your attitude first has to see the truth that I'm sharing with you. It's right there in the scripture. See the competence. Once you identify, I know my gift, or I don't know my gift, I need to discover my gift, then you can cultivate it. One thing that I love to do with clients is take you through Clifton's Strength Finders. So if you have not heard of Clifton's Strength Finders, take a screenshot right here. This is the student version, but this version's out there is pretty much the same. It's going to give you an opportunity to go through and identify, if you take the $20 version, your top 5 strengths. Okay. If you take the $60 version, you'll unlock all 34 strengths, and it'll show you your top 5 and your bottom ones. Why is that important? Well, when you look at your strengths, your abilities, it talks about how you show up at work. And a lot of times it's a feedback loop between what people say about you and the things that you'll identify in an assessment like that. It's just one of many different assessments, a great tool that I love to use. So I encourage you to do it if you haven't already done Clifton Strength Finders. But that'll help you identify what your gifts are, what your skills are, and the level of competence that you have. And then over time, it'll produce evidence. All right. So that's the proverb of the day. It's important. The gift makes room for you and brings you before great men, or buys the attention of eminent people. I love that one. So as we shift into the theme of the day, it's going to directly connect with the ACE definition for brand. What is a brand? As we define it, a brand is being recognized as noticeably different. Being recognized as noticeably different. BRAND. So if you think about fast food, think about a fast food chain. All right. Boom, you got one. Think about a sneaker. Boom, you got one. With both those examples, an image popped in your head, a picture popped in your head, an experience probably popped into your head. If you think about a good experience, fast food chain or restaurant, and then you think about a bad one, think about a bad one. Okay, so now you see how those two are like diametrically opposed. And if you ask yourself, well, why? I had a great experience here. The service was like this. I had an issue. They compensated on this side. They didn't. I never want to go back there again. The people didn't greet me right. I already was having a bad day. So you think about that experience. And so companies rise and fall based on the strength and the power of their brand. Likewise with you as a leader, as an individual. What are you known for? If you're leading people, and I ask the people, what is the strength of you as a leader, or what is your style of leadership? Are they going to say that guy is dominant? Are they going to say that lady typically tries to manipulate? Or they're going to say, man, that's the most liberating, empowering leader I've ever worked with, and I would do anything for them. What do people say about you? What is your brand? Is your brand noticeably different in a positive way? Is your brand noticeably different in a negative way? This ties back to your gift, because if you have a gift, let's say to strategize, sometimes a gift like being able to strategize is real process focused. It's real project focused, project oriented, is more focused maybe on innovation or industry. And you forget the fact that, oh, there's people behind this that's developing the project, that's moving the project forward, that's developing the widget. And you can kind of get lost in the fact of, hey, I'm doing a great job developing this, but as a leader, I'm leading people. I'm not leading process. And it's something I need to be mindful of on what my brand is, because that might cap me out at the ability to be able to grow the brand or to be able to expand the company. So it's very important to understand the gifts that you have. Are they making room for you? Are you shooting yourself in the foot because you're leaning into one area, but you have a blind spot in another? So what I want you to do this week, here's your ACE activation for this week, because we're going to do a teaching. You're going to become a master. These are little bites and things that you can do over time. You'll see the increase. Here it is. Step 1, identify one of your superpowers. You might be saying, Jay, one superpower? Like, you kidding me? Like, look at me. I got incredible amounts of superpower. Or you might be like, what is a superpower? I'm from Earth. I don't have any superpowers. Your superpower is your genius zone. Again, back to the feedback loop. What do people say about you? What are the constant things that people are always saying about you? Fill in the blank. And again, strength finders, look at it, map that to what people say about you, and identify one superpower. If you don't have a superpower, don't know it, take the strength finders exam assessment and just do the top 5 and just pick the top 1 and just trust that that is a strength that you have and it is a superpower. I want you to identify it first. All right. Then I want you to consider for this week. Okay, we're doing 1 week at a time. We're looking to master your week in this area of branding and gifting. How will you leverage that superpower this week? So again, if it's strategy, where does the week call for your strategic mind? What problems do you need to solve? Okay, what do you need to put your mind to and to figure out? I'm not going to give a lot of different examples, but that's the one that I've been on. So consider that. Then once you identify how you're going to leverage it, remember I said last week, I said this all the time. If it ain't on the calendar, it ain't real. All right. So I want you to block time to be able to do these activities or do it in the car. Just decide right now when you're going to dedicate time to be able to go and do these activities, because it's going to have tremendous value for you. Once you identify your superpower and you decide, oh, this is how I'm going to leverage it, I'm going to challenge you a step further. How will you strengthen that superpower this week? So another thing with strengths, the idea is identify your superpower and your strengths and make them stronger. There's a lot of thoughts out there that says, hey, identify your weakness. Or even when you go to interview, right? What are your strengths? Oh, my strengths are this and this. Okay, what is one of your weaknesses? And what do we do with the weakness? We try to identify something that's really a strength, but it shows up that I can posture it as a weakness, but I can really flip it to show that I'm really strong and I don't have any weaknesses, right? We all do that. I hate that question, by the way. I will not ask that question. I'll ask it in a different way because, it's a game that you play. But as far as your weaknesses go, I believe if you focus on your strength and you maximize your strengths and partner with those that have strengths in your weak areas, that's the ideal scenario. Rather than spending time in the areas that you're weak because maybe just wired a certain way and you'll only get those but so high. So focus on your strengths and decide this week with that one strength that you identify, how am I going to strengthen it this week? If it's strategy, it's a book that you need to read. Find another strategic voice that's out there. What are they saying? If you have a specific discipline, look at the discipline, look at that vertical and find where the thought leaders in this area. Listen to them, process information, and decide, do I agree with them or not? Why or why not? And really lean into it. Okay? So recap. What are you going to do? Identify one of your superpowers. You do Strength Finders, that top gift. 2, how will you leverage that superpower this week? And 3, how will you strengthen your superpower this week? Right? And you'll be on your way to acing your week and establishing your brand, and your gift will be making room for you. If you like this comment, if you like this content, like, comment, share with others. Drop in the comments, what are your superpowers? What is your gift? What challenges have you had around identifying your gift? Is your gift making room for you? Are you in a place where, yeah, my gift, I'm killing it, but it's not showing up, or it's not manifesting in rewards and in promotions and things like that? Like, what are your frustrations? Because I can guarantee you that they're not uncommon. There's a lot of people that are going through what you're going through. So I encourage you to drop comments, share. Let's keep the conversation going. I'm Jamin Ferrer. You're one step closer to mastering your work and the art of living. I'll see you next week.